Hey, you want to hear something cool? Hear the thing. In 1590, one of the greatest mysteries in American history occurred that remains unsolved to this day. Our story begins in 1585 when Sir Walter Raleigh sent representatives, specifically Ralph Lane and Sir Francis Drake, to Roanoke Island in what would eventually become North Carolina to create what they deemed the first permanent settlement in the Americas. They brought just over 110 settlers with them. And once they founded this settlement, they found that they had poor supplies and bad relations with the indigenous peoples there. Because of all these issues and problems plaguing the colony, they chose not to try to make it through that first winter. And as winter set in, they left home for England. The following year, 1587, John White landed. He brought with him just over 120 settlers, and they continued to expand that settlement in an attempt to make it permanent. John White had brought not only his daughter and her husband, but after they landed, his daughter gave birth to what is widely reputed to be the first white person to be born in the Americas. Her name was Virginia Dare. As they lived in the settlement, they realized they also needed additional supplies. So as the winter set in, John White heads back to England to obtain more supplies for the colony. When he gets there, he finds the Queen commandeers his ship, as she has with all other ships. This is delaying their return, specifically because she needed all these ships to battle the Spanish Armada in what would be the Anglo-Spanish War. This delay cost White almost a year and a half. In 1590, White returns to Roanoke Island. What he finds is a mystery to this day. He finds everyone is gone. Everything is abandoned. Many of the buildings have been taken down, but a few buildings remain. And the palisades, the fortification wall, remains around the settlement. These buildings weren't burned down. They weren't torn down. They seemed to be taken down methodically. As White and his men searched the area, they found a tree with 3 letters on it, C-R-O. As they continued to investigate, they found a full word carved into the palisades on the outside. Croatoan. Croatoan was the name of an island and an indigenous tribe that lived nearby. They assumed this was a message to them that they ran out of supplies and they needed to maybe go off and live with the Croatoans. So White decides to set sail for the Croatoan island. As he attempts to get there, he can see the island, but rough seas and numerous equipment issues on the ship cause them to turn back and return to England. White would never see his family again. Throughout the years, there have been numerous rumors of white people living with various indigenous tribes in the area. Even rumors of blue-eyed children amongst the indigenous peoples. Another rumor spoke of a massacre. A rumor that started when they found a stone near the Jamestown settlement in 1605. Carved into that stone was the story of a massacre and how only a few of them remained and were being forced into slavery by the indigenous individuals. That stone is known as the Dare Stone because it was signed Virginia Dare. This story has never been corroborated. It's never been proven. and no evidence has ever been found to this day of what happened. This has been the story of the lost colony of Roanoke. I'm Brian P. Gallagher. Join me next time on Hear the Thing. Hey, you want to hear something cool?